In April of 2020, my dream got put on hold. I was living abroad for the first time in Singapore and backpacking through Asia. It was a dream that I'd thought of every single day for the past 2 years, and I was finally living it. But I think all of you guys know what happened next. One day in March, I got an email from McGill University telling me that if I didn't come home immediately, my education would be suspended. I still remember that day. I was sitting on a boat going to Krabi, Thailand with two of my best friends, and our hearts just sank. But rather than sit and cry because I spent both my 21st and 22nd birthdays sitting in my living room, I've used this time to become a better man than even I knew I could ever become. But now, it's time to add a new experience to the list. On September 17th, I am flying to Newfoundland for a 3-month cross-Canada journey where I'll be moving across all 10 Canadian provinces by train with this guy, the iconic Downy Live. My goal is to take you around the country and show you everything related to wellness travel in Canada. So basically, I'm going to be bringing you on a cross-Canadian trip full of adventures, guides, and advice to help you make the most of life. And of course, at the same time, I'll be showing you some of the best and most unique experiences you can have across this country. So if you're interested in this and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to smash that button. And as you guys have figured out from the title of this video, today, we're flying to Newfoundland. Welcome to Sprout's Adventures, Guides, and Advice, the Cross Canada edition. We're starting right here in Newfoundland, baby. Let's go. Episode 1 starts right now. First official breath of Newfoundland air. Whew. It's good to be here. Now, if you guys don't already know, Newfoundland is a very, very isolated province, and so, you need a car. But there were actually no car rentals, so I shipped out my own personal driver to come to the province and drive me around. Let me introduce you.
Hello, buddy.
How are you?
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to your new
The love nest.
hotel room. So we have a great king-size bed. Got us the king suite here. So if you turn around, lots of space here for us. I know it was the last room, otherwise we would have gotten us separate beds, but look, it's a king size, we'll make do. But come over this way. I also got really excited when I saw this because I was like, look how big this bathroom is. We're gonna be so happy and comfortable. But if you look this way, you might see the problem. There's the shower, the bathtub. Yeah, you're seeing the issue. We'll have to figure out a system to make this work. Or we go with the old no shower routine.
Or we just become really good friends.
Really good.
After taking down a few St. John stouts, I figured it was time to tell you guys how this trip actually even happened. I wanted to go to Asia. That was my plan as of the beginning of September. But as you guys may know, borders are all closed to those countries.
I'm the backup plan. I've been planning this trip across Canada for a little while now. And basically you called me and was like, hey, I know you're doing this trip across Canada. I was like, yeah. And you were like, could it be we go across Canada? I was like, yeah.
So for all of you guys who want to know how I even reached out to Mike in the first place, because he has 270,000 subscribers, I have 4,000. When I went to Vancouver back in January, I had reached out to him because I saw a few of his videos and he completely ignored me. A few weeks later, I reached out to him, I said, happy birthday. If you want to go for a walk, we could do that. And then you reluctantly said, let's do it. And now look at us, we're closer than ever.
Numbers don't matter. What matters is how hard you're working at it. If you're looking like you're improving, which Will did, I said, okay, I want to be a part of that.
And so, now we're on a trip together. So I guess the lesson here is,
Don't be afraid to ask.
don't be afraid to ask. You never know what can happen. Now, one of my favorite shows to watch in the entire world is the Anthony Bourdain Parts Unknown series. And in his Newfoundland episode, he comes here to Christian's bar and he gets screeched in. Getting screeched in is a famous Newfoundland ceremony that ends with you becoming crowned an honorary Newfoundlander. Now, people from all over the world come to Newfoundland for this experience, and we weren't any different. The process of a screech-in begins with the leader of the ceremony introducing themselves and then asking those present if they would like to become a Newfoundlander.
Hear ye! Let's bring the Royal Order of Screechers to order. I understand we got a bunch that want to get screeched in here tonight. Hopefully becoming right proper honorary Newfoundlanders, yes?
Yeah!
Each screechy then has to eat a piece of Newfie steak, which is just a slice of bologna.
The reason why we call it Newfoundland steak is years upon years ago, the kid that would have this on their sandwich or supper plate would be considered a rich kid. The kid that had lobster on their sandwich, that'd be the poor kid. And that kid would be so poor that if he didn't wake up on Christmas morning with a heart on, he had nothing to play with. Well,
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's awesome. Yeah. After that comes the most famous part of it all, kissing the codfish. What? Kissing a codfish? Yes, and the reason why is because
John Cabot sailed the Atlantic on his boat, the Matthew, all the way from Bristol, England to Bonavista Bay. And when he arrived here, he saw lots of activity in our water. I didn't know what was going on, but he dropped his bucket down to fill it up with water, and when he came up to the top of the boat, it was filled to the rim with codfish. The word got out fast how plentiful the fish were in our waters that they traveled from all over to settle here. And one place in particular that we traded with was with Jamaica, because in Jamaica they make rum, and we loves rum. Loved it so much we'd actually get that on that wharf and we would kiss that fish goodbye, knowing it was coming back to us in the way of rum. So in keeping with that time and honor tradition, I do have a little buddy for me. This is a real Newfoundland codfish.
Oh, wow.
and it's only fair that if Newfoundlanders gave cod away in return for delicious rum, that we get to drink that Screech rum.
Screech got its name down on the south coast of our province, where one night we were serving up our hospitality to a U.S. captain. He drank the shot, he yelled out a great big yell. The sergeant came on running into the room and said, "Who yelled out that god-awful screech?" And there was a Newfoundlander who was sitting at the bar that said, "Screech, boy, 'tis the rum, me son." And that's how Screech got its name. Okay, so some of you may or may not have known, back in 2017 I had the honor of meeting and screeching in the late and great Anthony Bourdain. He came to visit me in my pub. He put me on CNN in front of a viewing audience of 120 million people, and instantly changed my life and my business forever. And it's incredible when you have the opportunity to meet your idol and then have him meet up to huge expectations. I like to dedicate my toast to him and say, here's to health and your company, and one for the lasses. Let's drink and be merry, all that of our glasses. Let's drink and be merry, but thoughts to refrain, for we may or may not ever all be here again. Up to lips, over gums. Look how God, here she comes.
Newfoundland was the last province to join Canada, only becoming part of the country in 1949, and because it's such a unique place, they actually have their own language. So in order to properly become Newfoundlanders, we first had to learn the essentials.
Now, to give you an idea of our dialect here in Newfoundland, the shortest conversation that you're ever going to hear between two people goes like this. Arn smern, nern. Up along being the rest of Canada, you might say, indeed I am, but in Newfoundland we say, deed I is. I need y'all to say, deed I is at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Deed I is.
Next part of the phrase is me old cock. Cock is a short form of the word cockney, which comes over from old England, being my good friend and my good buddy. What you're saying is, yes, I am my good friend. You're going to say, deed I is me old cock at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Deed I is me old cock.
Last part of the phrase. And long may your big jib draw. Say, deed I is.
Deed I is.
Me old cock.
Me old cock.
And long may your big jib draw.
And long may your big jib draw.
Now declare you all honorary Newfoundlanders.
For the first time in 18 months, I can honestly tell you that life felt like normal. No mask mandate, just sitting in an unfamiliar place with unfamiliar faces, yet loving every single second of it and having an incredible time together. Officially screeched in. We are honorary Newfoundlanders today by the Royal Order of Newfoundland. This is like a dream come true.
I promised myself I wouldn't drive it. Class of 2021. We did it.
It's the first time you've graduated in a while. Just another day in the life in Newfoundland. What an amazing start to day 1 of this cross-Canada journey. St. John's, oldest city in North America, and you know what? Doesn't really look like it. What are these houses? Why are they so colorful? And why is every house a different color? Well, let me explain. So, rumor has it that sailors used to actually go out to sea every single day, and they wanted to look at their houses from the water, so they'd each make a contest to paint the most colorful house and to see it against the misty backdrop.
Now, I actually heard a different story. I heard that it was so sailors, after a night of drinking, when they were going home, would be able to tell which house was theirs, because They're all kind of the same otherwise.
And like, look at these colors. These colors are just, they're just so happy. This is very representative of how Newfoundland feels and how it's perceived by the world. These are apparently the friendliest people in all of Canada. And you know what? There's a very good saying that your environment accurately reflects your personality. And these houses definitely scream happiness and positivity. Now we're about to go into this grocery store, and guess what? I don't need a mask. I can just walk in. Because Newfoundland has no mask mandate until tomorrow. So for the first time in 18 months, I'm about to walk into a store with no mask on. Hello. Do you guys have lemons by chance? This is legitimately the greatest feeling in the world. Walking into a store and not needing to wear a mask. Title of this video is When Life Gives You Lemons, You Go to Newfoundland. Well, when you go to Newfoundland, you get lemons. I don't really actually have a reason for having these lemons, but they're gonna spend the day with us. God, when would I ever be in Newfoundland? When? It's amazing how some things work out in life. This is gonna be an incredible next 10, 11 weeks. So hope you guys can join along for it. Final activity before the sun goes down is to do something I love. You guys have seen it in a lot of my videos. That is to find the best place in a city and go watch the sunset. Now, if you're Canadian or if you've ever flown on Air Canada, one advertisement that you probably have seen a million times is the Newfoundland and Labrador tourism one. Every single time it plays, I always think to myself, this place looks so nice. And despite the fact that it's just a 2-hour flight from Montreal, most people I know, including myself, have never made the decision to even visit here. And now that I'm here, I can honestly say, thank God. And I'm so glad that I got a beautiful day and a beautiful sunset spot to kickstart this journey. They say, when life gives you lemons, you go to Newfoundland. What an end to an amazing first day. And like I said, this is just day one of a 10-week cross-Canada trip. So if you want to follow me along for this cross-Canadian journey, make sure to smash that subscribe button. I'm Will, the channel is Sprought. As always, it's a mindset. I'll see you for the next video back in Newfoundland as we explore more of St. John's. Coming up on Sprought. Looks like there's only one main road in Blow Me Down. Oh my God, I was not even expecting this.
Cleaning cod in Newfoundland.
All of this to come starting next weekend. So make sure to subscribe and I'll see you for the next one.